5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're live with Neve.
All right. How's everybody doing this morning? Here you are, you're live with Neve. We're high in Highlands, New Jersey, and we're overlooking the beautiful Atlantic Ocean and New York to the north, which we really can't see much. Most of you have been watching this show for a while now that I like to tell everybody what the weather is here. Not that it matters, because wherever you are, I'm sure it's warmer or nicer or incredibly snowed and cold. And we're just here. It's kind of a gray, crappy day. We're at the top of the hour, and we have some great guests coming on today. I have Darren Huffman, former National Football League player. I also have Mark Rich from across the pond. We're waiting for him to give us a ring. He's releasing a new song, and it is called Pretty Girls. And how can you go wrong with Pretty Girls? Everybody loves, look, my Skull guys even like Pretty Girls. The song's decent. It's a kind of, he always has a certain, reminds me of like old ska band stuff from England in the 80s, or even before that. They're hard to categorize, but I like it. And he's done amazingly well. They've won a Eurovision songwriting contest. They've won several other, and I believe they have about 60,000 viewers. So if you are one of them and you're watching, please like, subscribe, and share our YouTube page. We're glad you're here. So there's a few things we've got to talk about. I'm joined, as always, by my lovely co-host, Julie. And I have our rant man, Mike Imperato. He's hanging out backstage. And then we have another friend of ours who's just lurking in the shadows. He's wandering around. I have him here for comic relief. If he feels free, he can interject on the comments. He's my good buddy, Brian Kuiper. He's been a big supporter of our show, and we like having him around. So, and if you're out there and you want to talk to us, please put a message to us up here. I will go ahead, and if you have something interesting to say, I can bring you on. We'll just go ahead and send you a link off camera. Hey, there's Toby. We got our girl from LA, Toby Juan Kenobi. That is Juan, as in Juan Valdez. Toby Juan Valdez is just the best. She has been getting us all kinds of great guests from Los Angeles area. We just love her and glad to have her on. She'll be here lurking in the shadows as well. She usually gives us our LA update, and she's positioned well. Girl grew up on Wilshire Boulevard, and she's been living in the City of Angels ever since. So, Julie, where are you at? Let's see where the rest of our crew's hanging around. Julie, what are you up to this morning? Howdy.
Hello. How are you?
I'm all right. How about you? How are you?
Good. Yeah, it's Friday, and it's
yeah,
a little cold outside here in Tampa. A lot cold for us Tampa.
Well, tell me how cold it was. Give us the goods. How cold is it in Tampa outside? Oh. Well, we're standing here. It's a cliffhanger because we don't know. Julie, you've just disappeared. I don't know where your volume went, or if people can see it out there in the world. Oh, your mic is off. There you go. That's poltergeist shit. I still don't hear you. For those watching, I just have to tell you, I can't hear you, Julie. All of a sudden, it just disappeared. I'm going to let Julie figure out her mic situation, and I'm going to bring Mike on for a minute. Don't worry, she'll be right back with us. Unmute Mike. I would say, I'm not going to say schlong, because that means snake in German for any of you who are up on your slang German terms. So instead of schlong, we're going to say she's, I don't know. I don't have a German word for it other than it's just fucked up. Julie, we've been talking backstage for the past half hour. I don't hear you. I'll tell you what, Jules, I'm going to get Mike. Now I hear you beautifully. You're back. Wow, man, I was pulling that signal through the freaking
You sure
internet.
did. You made it work.
Oh man, I'm telling you, I feel
Made it
good.
work.
I think it might have something to do with John Spear. You never know. I've been asking him I told him I'm having some serious poltergeist shit going on in the studio and with our electronics. And you never know. I mean, the truth is out there. Just remember that.
Oh, okay. Yes, it is. And
Some
someone else
somebody's
is
hearing.
hearing echoes on your end, but
I know that's weird.
let's bring Mike, solve this problem for us, please.
Do we have echoes on your end? I don't hear Mike now.
I don't
We're
hear
off
Mike
to.
either.
Where did Mike go?
Wow.
Look at this shit. I'm telling you, it's total poltergeist activity. His mic's off. I'm gonna that.
Can you hear me now?
Oh yeah, baby.
All right.
Now the gang's all here, man. How can it get any
All
better
right.
than this? I,
Yeah, no,
I-
Neil, I don't hear any echoes on my end.
I
Okay.
don't either.
Kim,
Yeah.
I guess you're in California, so I'm not sure what's going on. But that may just be my power of animal magnetism. My voice just may be resonating in your head. The dulcet tones of Neil Ernest Van Purdy. Yes, you're about to enter a world of fear, terror, skulls, and fuckery. You are live with Neve. There we go.
Mike, tell us what is going
Hey.
on. What do you have for us this
Oh.
week? Right.
Oh,
Come
you
on,
have
I
no
can't
freaking
wait.
idea. So,
Okay.
I have my Lionel trains, right? So now
Yeah.
it says in the catalog when I ordered this thing that
Oh, shit. What the
now
hell happened?
it says right on the box, 2 crew figures. No crew figures are included. So I send an email to freaking Lionel. They don't respond for like 10 days. So I send another one. She says, "Oh, we're very sorry. They decided during production not to include the crew figures." Oh, no. Oh, first of all, who's they? And when did they decide this? So I said, I want my crew figures. Mail them to me and I'll install them myself, but I'm getting them. Then she says, "Oh, you don't understand. If you read the fine print in the catalog, it says they can make change." No, I don't want to know. Don't tell me they. Who the fuck changed my shit? So now she's like, they have in the fine print that says that they can change the production at any time. Lady, I haven't been able to read fine print since I'm 40 years old. What am I going to do? Get a Lionel catalog and go find some kid down the street and say, "Hey, do me a favor, go through this whole catalog, see if you see any fine print." Once you start wearing reading glasses, there is no freaking way. I'm lucky I can read the regular freaking print, and she's telling me about fine print. So then she says, "Oh, I'll send you a thing of smoke fluid in exchange." Am I emailing you for smoke fluid? Oh no, I'm getting my figures. So if I don't get any satisfaction out of her, I'm going to China. I'm coming home with 2 crew figures to put in that locomotive. Oh no, you can laugh all you want. When you have OCD in your anal as I am, if it says on the box that they're included, oh, they're going to be included. I don't care if I have to come back with the freaking Chinese freaking emperor and stick his ass in the fucking locomotive. Somebody's giving me crew figures. I'm not. That's it. They picked the wrong person to tell me that they changed the production midstream. Oh no! Then change the boxes, change the catalog, change every freaking thing. I'm getting my crew figures.
I'm just like you. I'm all about the principle of the thing. Everybody hates
that's
me.
no.
Principle.
Yeah.
Because if you
She
don't
says,
stand for something,
No. Oh, what I have fucking 30 gallons of smoke fluid here. I don't need any more smoke fluid. What I need is my crew figures. That's what I need. Because you can't have a locomotive going around the track with nobody driving it. It looks
What the hell?
ridiculous.
So tell me, let me ask you, what kind of response did you get to that treatment? Have you found the elusive they yet?
Oh no, they're out there. But
They're out there.
I would like to say
like the
Mr.
X-Files?
John Smith decided that he was no longer good. Don't give me that day bullshit. No, that's just no. I'm going to take the box. I'm going to China with the box, saying, "Listen, see that right there? Crew figures included. Where are they? They're not in there." So first point before that happened, I literally walked 37 miles inside my son's apartment looking for the crew figures that I figured I took out of the box and placed somewhere and couldn't remember where they were. Until then I went on a forum online and all these people are saying, "Oh, no. They decided not to include them." No, bullshit. I'm getting them.
So tell me this: does Angie have you on any medication for the off hours? Do you have to take any type of?
All we do is the water cooler gets filled up. We dump all the shit in there. If you Ativan, you name it, any kind of freaking psychotic medication, just goes straight into the water cooler. It's in the coffee pot. It's everywhere. It's just freaking ridiculous. And I got to tell my fans, I'm going to have to go today and spend money to fix this kitchen blind because I can't. It's just not. There's a spot missing, and it's freaking killing me.
Listen, man,
Please
I'm
show
telling you
everybody what
something.
you showed us, please.
I want him to
You want
come
me
to
show
my
them? I'm going to
house.
show them.
Yeah, here
For
we
my
go.
fans, I want my fans to see what I'm dealing with here in the blinds.
That's
Can you see
frustrating.
that?
Terribly.
You see that
I'm
spot
telling
Oh
you,
my
man.
God, I'm ready to lose my
look at
mind.
it.
I'm about
I
to
kind of
lose my
think-
mind.
I'm done.
I
I'm
think
done.
people should die. People definitely should die.
Yeah. And the other
How
thing I'm
could-
going to
imagine-
do, even though I don't live here, and this is a common laundry room, I'm going out there later, and I'm changing the freaking direction of the dryer door. How many people in this country don't realize the dryer door is not supposed to open in the direction of the washing machine? It takes 10 minutes to flip it around, but nobody does it. When my sister Kathy broke her foot and I went to take care of her, the first thing I did was go upstairs and change the door on the dryer. I'm like, how do you live like this? She goes, what are you talking about? Your dryer door is backwards. She goes, what do you mean it's backwards? It's oh my God. The same thing in
Seriously.
refrigerators. People have their refrigerator open the wrong freaking direction. It takes 20 minutes to swap it out.
First off, I'm going to have Dr. Nick come by and take care of you for a little bit. Don't worry. It's
You
just
do
a little
that.
pinprick. Everything will be
Yeah.
okay. And
That's good.
then we're going to get you ready to have you.
Give me some Haldol or whatever else they give. The
Yeah,
freaking
we'll
medical
get you all-
hospitals. Yeah.
Remember, it'll just be like a Pink Floyd song. Just nod if you can
Yeah.
hear me, okay?
Yeah. And also,
so,
if
you know-
anybody else needs me to come over to the house and show you how to load a freaking dishwasher, I'll be right there because there's
man.
nothing worse. Oh my God.
Mike, I swear this.
I've reloaded the dishwasher in my life at least 1,000 freaking times because nobody knows how to do it.
Right.
Do you
Right,
ever
it's
have?
right there by the sink?
I have to put on my professional hat here, and I have to ask you some questions. Some of them are of a personal nature, but don't
You got
worry,
it.
you're among friends. Do you ever wake up having dreams that you are lining up dominoes, or are you stacking pixie sticks?
No dreams like that.
Do you wake? Okay, well, we'll stay out of those other type of dreams. I know where your mind's going with this one. Now, listen, Mike. I tell you, you have an open invite to come to my home. I want you to come
You got
up.
it.
In fact, we'll have Julie
I'm bringing
come up. We'll get
my
the whole
level.
gang.
I'm bringing my
You bring
freaking
your
level.
level.
First thing we do is
Absolutely.
start straightening pictures out.
Well, I'm pretty sure that if you come through my house, I might have my own list. However, I'm pretty sure that my list's about this long because, frankly, if it doesn't have to do with music, loving, eating food, or something like that, I'm not really that into it. I mean, it's Super Bowl, rah, rah. I know everybody, and frankly, to all my friends in Tampa Bay, we are going to kick some ass tonight. Listen, we're about to go to a break, but I want to hold you to it. When the summer comes, I want you and Angie to come up. I want Julie to come up. We'll get all the other people in our neighborhood. Maybe by then we can have some kind of a get-together of the Neve cast and friends. And hell, I got a bunch
There
of
you go.
drunk friends here who'll come, who knows? It'll be a lot of fun. And my house needs to work. Shit, man, you're a human
Hey,
dynamo.
if I bring my camper, I'll be able to tell you exactly to the ounce how much it weighs before I put it in your driveway. Because I
Julie,
know.
when we go on the road, we have to take Mike with us. In fact, Mike, you've just been nominated. You're going to Nashville with us. We're going to do it
There you
all
go.
live from the stage and I'm going to come to Nashville and ride with you. And I promise you this, I will absolutely give you the complete weight of mind, body, and my soul.
You got it.
I got the band off my neck from where they put it back in a few years ago. It had been missing in action for a couple of days. But at any rate, we got to it's time to go to a break. And then we've got Darren standing by. Darren Huffman is here to talk football since we're talking it. And I'll tell you what, Darren doesn't know me very well, but a good friend of mine, a 30-year friend, Dan Mockensturm, we've seen on the show before, got hold of him for me. And he's standing by. His studio looks a little cleaner and nicer than mine. I know that Dan works for this gentleman, and I'm just envious of the tube compressors. I just need to borrow 3 or 4 of them for the show, and I'll get them back next week. So we're gonna go ahead, run an ad, and we're gonna be back with Darren Huffman talking football.
All right.
Let's get out.
Questions, comments, click on the chat box.
Wow, I don't know if we have too much
Wow.
overload here or what.
I tell you what. Well, let's let's go ahead and bring Darren on. Mike, stand by if you'd like.
You got it. I'll be back.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you.
Hey.
Thanks for watching.
I'm frozen on
We'll
my
see
end,
you
so I
next
don't know how
week,
you are.
live with Neve.
I'm completely
Good evening,
frozen.
everyone.
Oh, man.
Hi, this is Leland Sklar, and I am hanging with Neve, and I am having the best time of my life.
Live with Neve Fridays on the East Coast from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m.
All right, all right.
Follow, subscribe, like us for bonus content, extras, and all sorts of cool goodies. Become a patron. Go to Patreon. Live with Neve.
Well, all right. We have Darren standing by. I think we've got through all of our ads. How you doing, Darren? Can you hear me down there?
You guys are paying bills over there, huh? All those
Paying
ads.
the bills. Yeah, man. I tell you what, that was it's some kind of random fuckery, we'll call it. The show is R-rated. You have to remember Murphy has a vote in all of this stuff. Anything you know studio gear, and even when it's the best in the world, maintained, something inevitably can happen out of nowhere that just is mysterious. And what can I tell you? So, how are you this morning down in Tampa?
I'm pretty good, man. Weather's kind of nippy for us locals here, but if you're up north, I'm sure you're getting a lot worse than what we're getting here. But I only have like 3 weeks worth of winter gear in my closet, so I'm at the end of it right now. I don't have anything else to wear.
Well, tell me, where did you grow up? I know nothing about football other than I like to watch it, and I know that if a big guy's chasing me, I'd be a good runner because I'd haul ass. I've been a drummer, and I know how to get my shit and go. Tell me about yourself a little bit. How you got into football, who you've played for, and where you're at now, and what you're doing.
I started playing when I was 8 years old,
Mm-hmm.
full contact football, which I'm not going to let my kids do that early.
Right.
The flag football game is probably where it's going to be. But grew up here locally, St. Petersburg, Florida, a couple minutes down the road. Played in New Orleans, played in Philadelphia, 10 years total. Moved back home, met a girl, had some kids, and now just living a life,
All right. Well, how old are your kids?
My kids are young. I didn't have my first until 37. So my kids are 7, 5, well, soon to be 7, soon to be 5 and 2. My youngest is a New Year's baby.
Good for you, man.
January 1st is his birthday, so he gets fireworks every year.
Oh, man, I think that's great. I had my kids kind of young, and then I had one at 40. I have 2 daughters who are 35 and 33, and I have a son who's about to turn 18 next December. And he's 6'4", and he ought to be playing basketball because the kid's just I look up at him and I go, "Yes, sir. How you doing?" All I can tell you is he can eat, like, the kid will sit down and he can eat like a package of hot dogs, the whole damn thing in one sitting after practice. He's a swimmer, so the kid eats like a horse, and I love it.
Those guys burn a lot of energy.
Oh yeah, and the difference between boys. I've always had girls, both of my daughters. So I wasn't prepared for kind of having it's great though being a dad. There's so many cool toys and stuff you can do with boys that, girls are just like, actually my daughters like to do anything. They would have played football if I would have let them. They're wild and crazy. My daughter Asia's a nurse at Tampa General. So if you ever see her, you're probably in rough shape and you'll be glad it's her working on you. I say that. My
neighbor's
daughter's
the CEO of that hospital. So I talk to him all the time.
Oh, great. Yeah. Great. Yeah. They're a great organization. I've spent my time in there. I lived in Tampa for 40 years. So
where are you now?
I'm in New York right now.
Okay. Because they don't sell those kind of shirts in Florida. They don't sell those kind of shirts in Florida. You couldn't have been from here.
No, this is, yeah, right. They don't sell these in Florida. Well, it's funny because I'm a New York guy who moved to Tampa back in high school
Mhm.
last year after being in boarding school for 3 years and growing up in the New York area. And it's like such a culture shock because hate to say it, it was pretty redneck down there. When I moved there, it was like
Yeah,
really, it's like a whole different universe in Florida now. I mean,
yeah.
depending on where you go, of course. But hell, man, enough about me and you. Let's talk some football. What do you think's going to happen this weekend? I have you here for your insights and expertise because
Mhm.
I can't talk football, and I wish Dan's saying hello, by the way.
Hello from the other room. I just talked to him like 2 minutes ago. He just walked in
Oh,
the building. So
oh, great, great. Well, cool. So tell me, who do you think's going to win tonight? If you were watching, I know you don't have a dog in the hunt.
right. It's tough. It's one conventional wisdom would say Kansas City. They're repeating champions, but it's very hard to get there once, let alone winning back to back. So that's fighting against them. They probably have the top 3 most talented guys, but if you take the top 15 or the top 20 most talented guys, Tampa Bay has like 15 of them. So
Wow.
they're averaging out in talent.
Mm-hmm.
Where Kansas City is going to count on Patrick Mahomes kind of winning the game or losing the game, or Tyreek Hill winning the game or losing the game, where Tampa Bay can win a game as a team. So it just depends on how the game goes and what kind of game comes up with. I played with Andy Reid, and he's a hell of a coach, man. Like he always seems to make the right call. He knows how to handle people, knows how to handle big egos. So he's in a good situation up there now. But I don't know. It's tough to call. I mean, I can't bet against Andy Reid, and I can't bet against Tom Brady.
Oh, of course not.
I've done it and I've lost. So
Right.
I mean, even in dire circumstances, 2nd and 1 from the 1-yard line with 45 seconds against Seattle, and they get an interception. Tom Brady wins another Super Bowl. Like the guy has a rabbit foot in the back of his pocket. So
Right.
it's interesting.
I think that coolness under pressure and being able to really focus on the game must be, I'm a musician, but I use the parallels between being an athlete and being a really high level musician, and that your concentration's got to be so focused when you're playing, doing your gig, that, you really got to pay attention. And a guy like him who can make those split section decisions, he's just wired right, I guess, because he seems to have that knack of staying cool and pulling it off, which,
right. And that doesn't just happen. That's all preparation. He's done it. He's done what he's doing right now millions of times in his head and millions of times in physical reps. And I don't know about him, but for me, when the ball is snapped, it doesn't matter if it's 5,000 people in the stands or 100,000 people in the stands. Like, you don't know the difference. Like, everything just turns off. And I'm sure that's the same for musicians on stage. It's just you've done it so many times. It's like you're up there by yourself and you're just in your zone and you're playing. And then when you hit a break, you take in the environment, you see everybody. And it's kind of, I figure it's kind of, I wouldn't know, but I figure it's kind of like the same thing.
Well, I can imagine the thrill of being on the field and feeling the pressure at a Super Bowl. I can put myself in that feeling because I've been a performer my whole life. I started when I was 7 and I've been doing it. I'm going to be 60 this year. And so for me, it's been easy for, say, the past 30 years, even before that. But considering I've been playing 50 of my 60 years, that's a long time to do it. But when I go in to do it, I don't even think about it. It's about the stuff I think about now is getting my plateaus as they get higher. They grow longer, and I just want to get to the next one. But it takes a lot more muscle memory. Being a drummer who sings, I have to get the song down as a drummer, and I can do that usually in like a minute. If I hear a song, I can play it. But then when I have to sing it, it's a whole nother realm of you have to sing it. I tell people to write it out. But let's get back to football. A guy like Tom Brady, what do you think he does? I mean, I've read some of the sports writers, but my understanding is this guy is just a workout maniac, and he's in early and out late all the time. Is that true to you? People who've worked with him and their experience?
I don't have any personal knowledge, but I know guys that have played with him on that team where they came from New England, and that's just the culture there. And I think he came into New England already as a worker. And then Belichick just kind of added to that with his system and how detailed he is and everything. And the guys I met coming out of that kind of system, some of them loved it because they win. And some of them, like, it was too much. It was too disciplined. It was too much like college or high school, too structured and too many rules,
Right.
So you have it both ways, but you can get away with that kind of stuff when you're winning 6 of the last 10 Super Bowls, or you're in Alabama like Saban, and you're winning all these national championships. You do whatever you want. But when it stops working, it becomes a problem.
Oh, I imagine. I have to say the pressure on a coach just must be unbelievable, just as it is on all the players. And looking at it from a team perspective, it's like a band. The weakest link is the guy that you have to help and cover for and worry about. They always say, I remember during the Gulf War, Donald Rumsfeld said, well, you don't go to war with the army you want, you go to war with the army you've got. And it's very true even in any game. And I say in sports and music, everybody I know in music's a real nice guy and we love each other. But if they don't have that competitive kick your ass mentality in their head when they go out to play, they're going to be they're not going to kick. That's something that you have to have in your heart. I used to argue back and forth with one of my band members about, he'd go, we're going to read the crowd. And I'd say, no, we're not going to read the crowd. We're going to walk out, we're going to kick them right in the face, and we're going to open up, and we're going to blow them away. We're going to lead the crowd all the way through the show, and we're going to leave them wanting more. And it's like watching a football game. When they kick in, I can appreciate the work that goes into figuring out the plays. And I say this as a layman who doesn't know the game very well, but that's what, when I watch it, I watched the Bucks for decades when they started playing dungy ball and just moving it down the field. That to me was cool because the strategy in it I had never thought or been aware of because I wasn't, I wasn't a player in high school. I was a musician. In fact, I hung out with all the jocks because I'd keep the video equipment running, the 16 millimeter projector. They were like, hey, New York, fix that projector, right? And I'd be like, yeah, cool, man. And so they all thought I was cool. And, being a musician, you get to meet a lot of cool people. So, I've been lucky, man. I got friends do all kind of cool shit.
Cool.
So, what are you going to be doing on game day? Let's talk about that.
I don't really have a routine. I got done playing, and I totally disconnected from football for a good 3 years. I didn't watch a single game, college, high school, professional. Just was done with it and over it. And, when you do it for that long, professionally for 10 years, but I've been doing it since I was 8, so it took a while to get your timing out of your body because come July, August, your body gets ready for a whole grind. So when you hit July, August and you have nothing, my body started ramping up and I'm starting to feel all kind of ways. So it took a while for that to get out. And then, a friend of mine got me into fantasy college football, which was interesting. And then a couple years ago, I got into fantasy football the professional level. And that got me watching again.
Okay.
But I think the last Super Bowl I watched was the Seattle Super Bowl.
Okay.
I may check this out just because I have a sports group on Facebook, right? So we're small. We only have like 750 people, and they're all local, and heavily favorite Bucks fans. So I had this group for about 5-6 years now running, and every year I have to be the guy before the season to say, you guys don't have the pieces. You're not going to be good. I don't think you're going to make the playoffs. And 500 of them jump on my back, So now it's to the point where, I'm labeled a Bucks hater, but I'm just trying to they don't have it yet. So when they signed Tom, they got Gronk, and they got the running back from Jacksonville and the running back from Kansas City. Even he's not getting many reps yet. They start building the pieces. The offensive line got sold up. The linebackers are outstanding. The DBs, they drafted a couple guys that turned out to be good. So before the season, I kept my mouth shut because Tom is on the team. They got some talent. There's no telling what's going to happen. So
I kind of agree with myself. So you're not betting on the game, I guess.
No, I can't. I mean, it's like it's a thing where I've been on the other side of the Bucks fans for so long in that group that
Right.
I can't back them because I've been that guy.
Right.
Not only that, because I mean, when I was in the Saints, we were division rivals. So twice a
Sure.
year I had to battle these guys. So over the years, I just built up this callous for the Bucks anyway.
Right.
And built
Right.
on top of I was never a fan as a kid. I was a Chicago Bears fan. So
Well, all right, Darren.
I'd probably check it out because it's in Tampa though.
Well, good, good. Well, listen, we appreciate having you on. I'd like to occasionally give you a ring and just have you come on and give us your opinion. You've done a great job, I think, for a lot of the people who don't understand football and they're all serious about it as they're all betting their money. But I tried to give have you come on and give just kind of a good background on what you think as a professional football player. It just seems like not having a dog in the hunt is kind of a hard thing to find sometimes.
Yeah, I think the better should skip this game.
Right.
I think they should skip this, but it's a tough one.
Well, okay. Well, thanks for coming on with us. We're going to go ahead. We're going to go to a break and we're going to hold on. If you want to hang out, you can hang out in the green room. If you feel like coming back on, we'd love to talk some more. Whatever works out for you. But we're here and we're going to go to break.
Follow, subscribe, like us anywhere you find webcasts and on all of our social media to get bonus material.
All right, all right. Here we are. We're half past the hour live with Neve. We are here broadcasting from New Jersey, from Highlands. I am high in Highlands, New Jersey, and it's a beautiful gray day here. It's kind of cold. I really can't complain. I went outside this morning, took out the garbage, and shoveled some more snow off of my stoop. Got it almost all the way to the road now, finally. Life is good. Today we had a nice little football discussion in the background. I enjoyed having him on, is all I can tell you. I don't know shit about football other than I like to watch it occasionally. Really, most of my life I've always been involved in gigs and bands, and I've played football games in Tampa, as a matter of fact. I've played a lot of the Bucks games over the decades. We would frequently, in various bands, play in the VIP tents. I know my friends in the Shake Society. I know that Jane McKee, our favorite booking agent, as we affectionately call her with all respect, the booking bitch. All I'm going to say is if you have Jane's World Entertainment behind you, you have the best agent you could possibly have. I was lucky to have her for a long time. She got us gigs. It was no bullshit with Jane, and still isn't. And, it's amazing how great she looks for a 40-year-old woman. Jane, you're still smoking. You got it, babe. Just like in the old days in Ybor. At any rate, enough buttering up of Jane. I'm going to go ahead and bring on, hopefully, we have our friends sitting in the wings. Toby, would you like to come on? Is that cool? No? Okay, well, Toby's camera shy today, which is okay. Toby, as I affectionately love to call her, is Toby Juan Kenobi, as in Toby Juan Valdez Kenobi. So we're not plagiarizing anything. I don't want Star Wars calling me up with one of their greasy attorneys to shake me down. But hey, man, glad you enjoyed it, Dan. It's good to thanks a lot for having your friend on and helping me get Darren on. Really a nice guy and very quiet, well thought out guy. I like him. And man, I hope to see you guys when I'm down in Tampa. We will be doing a live broadcast down there in April, which will coincide. It'll be right after I go to Nashville, and we'll have a lot of fun. So you're going to see a little bit of the South coming up on our show. And if we can get some fundraisers and fundraising going on, you'll see us at other locations. That's just a reminder. We're like National Public Radio, only better. For one thing, we can curse, we can make fun of people, things, institutions. We can basically do whatever we want within the bounds of reason. So enough about that. I see it's 10:34. Mark Rich is evidently having some problems across the pond getting on. That's a bummer because we really like Mark, and he's been one of our earliest guests. I'm going to go ahead and just bring on Mike for a minute. Hey, I see this. Here we go. You're right. He was an amazingly good player from what I had basically read really quick at 2 in the morning last night. Normally, when I do my homework on someone, I try to have a little better handle on who and what. I recalled that he had played for Philly, and that in itself is interesting to me because living in the New York area, we have 3 football teams that people follow in New Jersey. Of course, the Giants, the Jets, and the Falcons. Not the Falcons. What am I saying? The Eagles. Excuse me. Some kind of bird. It flaps around. It plays football. What do I know? I know if it flies over you, you better wear a hat or have an umbrella. Any rate, I'm going to bring Mike on because Mike's sitting here looking at me, and he's probably knows a little more about football. I'm going to see if he happens. How about it, man? Who are you betting on for the Super Bowl? You got a favorite?
You definitely don't want my opinion on the NFL, as I call it, the National Film League. So we'll just forget that right there because you don't want to know how I feel about those guys. I mean, no, there are some great players. There are some great human beings in the National Football League. I'll say that right now. And,
of course.
But I just wish that the league would take a much harsher stance on the criminals and the felons that bring such a bad name to that game. Just don't condone it. Just stop with the 3 strikes and you're out bullshit. You beat your girlfriend half to death, you're done. You're permanently banned from the game. End of story.
Hey, listen, if any of us do something like that, whatever job you have is going to go away. Whatever support of your family and friends is going to go away. Nobody wants to be around some jackass who's going to beat on their wife. And it's just the way it is. I'm looking over here. I've got a couple of messages. So, Toby, I want you to type in your info about your page, and I'm going to talk a little bit about what you do, even though we won't be able to see you, but we'll talk a little bit. For everybody watching the show, our gal in LA, as I like to call her, she's been in music business for the past 50 years. How I've never run into her going to NAMM and these various things that you attend over the years is beyond me. But she basically finds talent for very many websites, and she aggregates and tries to get fans for websites. She's been very kind to us doing that. And I have to tell you, she's just comes up with, I have some amazing talent coming up from her, people she's put forward. And it's just really cool what she does. It's a really broad, it can be anything. You can't imagine the variety of bands and acts that she supports. Having her in LA is really good too, because we can get a firsthand outlook of what's going on day to day in the music scene there, which everybody we talk to out there, it's like, here, what are you doing? I'm sitting at home eating some Cheetos. Yeah. Getting a scratch. Hey, what's for dinner tonight? Oh, okay. And then at Mike's house, of course, he's making a detailed schematic, three different elevations, front, side, back, and overview of his train setup, which that is so cool to me. My uncle and I used to build a train set at his house. And he's still got it, and he collects. He's got a little more coin than I do, so he collects antique train memorabilia. He has trains from around the world that are like incredible. He has some trains that he bought that were from Nazi Germany that were incredibly expensive and hard to find. He's got stuff from England. He's into all things train. And I mean, I have to say, he always jokes with me. He tells me, he goes, well, I bought this. You can't tell Raina. I'm joking. Aunt Raina, you've been living with him for 20 years. You know how it goes.
Yeah.
It's sort of like, it's like guitarists with girlfriends. Oh, I see somebody posting something up here. Oh, look, Julie, you're getting a fan online. I also want to mention too, LJ Harness, you're out there watching, man. I agree with you. I'm all the way for Tampa. LJ's a rockin' drummer. He plays with a friend of mine, a very good friend of mine's band, and I've admired LJ's playing for the past 40 years. He's got a great history of it, and I'm so glad he's playing with Charlie because, hell, if I'm not there, you got to have somebody good. And Charlie's got a great band now, the Conspiracy Band, and I'm real happy watching them. They're killer. I know all the guys. They knew me. We've been friends for decades. I mean, Charlie and I have raised our kids and grandkids together as friends, and they're real good people.
Hey, Neil, I have a great story when you get a chance.
Oh, let's go. Let's talk some rants, man. I've
So
been talking way too much today.
this is about football. You're gonna love this story. So the year that the Bucks won the Super Bowl, when they beat Philadelphia to go to the Super Bowl, with me and my wife, we took the kids down to the stadium, waited for the plane to land. We got to see Chucky and all of them. It was freaking great.
Cool.
So my wife sees this thing on the news. She says, "Hey, they're looking for volunteer ushers at Raymond James Stadium." So I'm like, "All right, I'll check it out." So I go down there and I talk to the lady, and so what you do is you get $10 for food, you get free parking, and instead of paying you, they give money to a charity. So I'm like, "Oh, this is really cool." So now I'm all the way up in Citrus County. So I drive down there for the first game, and the lady's like giving out assignments, and she points to me to some stairwell. I'm like, "Lady, wait a second. First of all, I ain't going nowhere near cigarette freaking smoke. Number two, I just drove 2 freaking hours. If you think I came down here to stand in the stairwell." She goes, "Oh, no, no, no." So she gives me the freaking 50-yard line right behind the Bucks bench. And that was my spot for the entire season. It was freaking amazing. So we got to go in 2 hours before the game started. You got to meet everybody. Everybody was signing shit, taking all the pictures you wanted. So now I meet Hulk Hogan. He becomes a regular because all the celebrities sit in my section. So the Hulk Hogan, every time he saw me, he's freaking bear hugging me. "Hey, brother, oh, I love you, man. I miss you." And then you take him, like here's Hulk Hogan, smashed out of his freaking mind. I'm helping him go to the bathroom. I'm like, holy shit. There was Frank Robertson from Fox 13 News. He was so drunk one night, I pretty much carried him to the freaking bathroom. It was crazy, but it was so much freaking fun. I mean, they played like shit that year. It was horrible, but it was so cool.
What year was that? What year was that approximately?
It was the year right after they won the Super Bowl against Oakland. So
okay,
maybe 2005. I can't remember. Okay. But
right.
Yeah, it was when John Gruden was the coach. But it was so freaking awesome. I was like, holy shit! I got to meet so many people. I had this girl. She comes up to me. She says, "If you could show me where Hulk Hogan is sitting, I'll give you the greatest freaking kiss." I'm like, "Oh, come on." I went over and said, "Yo, Hulk, man, I got." And he's going, "Okay, brother." She's freaking wrapping her arms around me. She's kissing me. I'm like, holy shit, this is great. But no, it was fun.
That sounds
great. It was
great.
fun. I had a lot of fun with that.
I'll bet. I've met in Tampa a lot of the guys because we used to play out at Whiskey Joe's out on the Causeway, and a lot of after the games, a lot of the time we might have played the entertainment tent in the afternoon for the VIPs. So we would have been playing from 11 to 1, and it was fun. In those days they paid very well. We got a couple of tickets, got fed. And we got in and out in a couple of hours, air-conditioned big VIP tents out in the parking lots. And those were pretty cool. Being not a football guy, I just usually give my tickets away or if somebody wanted to buy them. Like you said, back then, tickets were pretty available when they weren't really kicking ass different times. I've been a fan of them just because I lived there for the past 40 years, since I was 20. But again, I'm not a football-based life form. I don't know. I watch it, but I'm always happy when one of my teams, like when I lived here, even the Jets, they got in the Super Bowl. I wanted us to kick some ass and win. I mean, it's New York after all. I don't even want to talk because our teams here are all kind of fucked up from what people who are in the know tell me. I don't know what's happening in New York, man. It's just getting so weird. There's I don't know. It's a crazy thing. All right, so listen, we got to go to break. We've got Brian coming up, and we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back. Hang around, Mike.
Awesome.
Got some more stuff to terrorize you.
Hi, this is Leland Sklar, and I am hanging with Neve, and I am having the best time of my life. Hi, this is Leland Sklar, and I am hanging with Neve, and I am having the best time of my life.
Live with Neve Fridays on the East Coast from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m.
All right. Here we are. It's quarter till the hour, and we're here live with Neve. I've got my friend Toby Simmons from LA. Toby Wan Kenobi, as I like to call her. She does amazing things, and she's a regular Jedi mind warrior, man. She definitely knows how to hook up musicians with other good musicians. I've also got the lovely and talented Julie Bruno, our co-host and co-producer. Julie, why don't you come on and let's talk a little bit about what we've got going on next week. Where is she?
Okay, what do we
There
have
you
going
are.
on next week?
What do we have going on next week? We have a very, very cool songwriter coming on the show Friday. I'm gonna tease everybody, and I'll just say the secret will be on our page after the show today. There'll be some mystery promo, but I will tell you, we've been covering a lot of country music lately. We have a lot of friends in Nashville, and that's pretty cool. Everybody's heard of John Prine. And I don't know if you're in the country and you haven't heard of John Prine. Well, you should, because whether you like country music or not, one of the best storytellers on the planet and just really a funny guy. He also had a sense of humor that you can only find in certain people. Like one of his songs had a line, "There's a hole in daddy's arm where all the money goes." And it's just like when you hear that, the first time I heard that song, Sam Stone, I kind of went, wow, that is just some heavy shit going on in those lyrics. And he just wrote some great tunes. Well, the guy that we have coming on will be named later, and there'll be some promo up. I'm waiting for some video to come in. You guys are just going to like it. So if you're sitting here and you have a calendar, you want to pencil in that next Friday is going to be a great show here. The guy's going to play live. He's going to play most of his new record. And a good friend of ours is about to sign him to Sony Orchard. And I'm very excited about that, or hoping. I can't say that. I should say I am hoping she can sign him. And they're both great folks, and I look forward to hearing them. So we'll be talking about that. Among other things, next week we have, I have a couple of country folks coming on. We have a shred guitar player. Oh, and the best and most exciting guest we have for next week, again, waiting on the confirmation, is from Weird Al Yankovic, Stephen J. Steve is unbelievably cool guy in the interview. I have a feeling this is going to end up like Leland Sklar's interview, because, you know, when you get bass players and drummers and we start talking, it just gets, you don't have no idea where it might go. And he's a really funny guy. The sense of humor he has is tremendous. And I kind of feel lucky, because one of the good things about our job is you get to meet cool people who do interesting stuff. Now, everybody knows him as this bass player who's on. They have more gold records. It's like unbelievable how many records he's played on that have gone gold. It's just unbelievable. Or number one, had a single, etc. And he's not like what you would think. He's one of the most down-to-earth, calm, and thoughtful individual is what I would say about him. We started talking about a month ago, and I basically hit him up online. I saw that he was online late at night, so I instant messaged him. And next thing I know, we have him on the show. And it's like I do that a lot, and it's interesting how that pans out, because you kind of see people that you like to talk to. If they're on the West Coast, if you're up at 2 or 3 in the morning, you find a lot of them happen to be on their messenger screwing around, and it's a good time to call. As we say on our show, nothing starts a relationship better than a good stalking.
What? And is that like across the board, or is that just
well,
like
I'll put it this way. No, it's like in sales, or if you're trolling for sales, right? Sometimes you have to be a very, very friendly and persistent stalker. You be that person who shows up not with Dunkin' Donuts shit. You show up with killer homemade artisan bagels. Then they remember you, because everybody walks in with some shitty old cup of joe, some grody bagels. You got to show up and make somebody remember your ass. You know, it's some like nasty ass. look, here in New Jersey, I'm going to get lynched for racking on Dunkin' Donuts. People are going to see me and go, hey, fuck you. You know, you don't like Dunkin'. What's wrong with you? You're not American. Because they take this shit seriously.
Ew.
Seriously enough that in Jersey in the morning, if it wasn't COVID and you're on your way to work, you're driving up 36, you're heading towards the city to get on the Parkway. All of a sudden, you've got a line in the middle of the right lane on a street that's moving at like 60, and then there's a line half a mile down the street. And it's everybody going in the frickin' drive-through. Speaking about a rant, you go in, you can walk in, park your car right at the front, avoid the handicap spot, trust me, but you can run in and out, and there'll still be 1,000 cars waiting to go in. Plus, the coffee sucks, and you're eating this big grease gobule thing. I mean, forget about it. Now that I've ragged on Duncan, I know that I'll have some hate mail, and good for you. If you want to hate on us, we love it. In fact, we'll move you front and center. Let's see. We've got some great talks here. There's daily YouTube.
Why don't we bring Brian on?
Brian, would you like to come on and visit? Look at him. He's over there.
Yeah, sure.
Hey, there's our man up in the... How you doing, Brian?
I didn't hear. Yeah, you broke up a little bit. Maybe it's on my side. This is the first time I've ever talked on a podcast. And Neve, first I want to say that that I've ever seen more than 3 times on even look for them. They kind of look for me. And I loved your show from the start. You had Phil Fest, I think his name is, some Brazilian guitarist.
Oh.
And
Phil Fest.
Yeah. And he was fabulous. And he really reminded me of David Byrne's project creating the recording label Luca Pop in Brazil. And that's where he lived there after he broke up with the Talking Heads. Anyway, he comes up with this character named Tom Z. And
let me try to interrupt you for a moment. Hey, Brian. I don't mean to interrupt you, but can you log off and log back in? Your audio's a little off.
I didn't have a chance to adjust it. Like I said, this is my first time, but yeah, I'll give it a shot.
All right, we'll have you right back in. Everybody watching, we're about to roll out. We got Brian's going to come back in for a minute. Brian's one of our fans, and we always love having him on. Toby, tell me, what have you got going on this weekend?
I don't think she wants to be on camera.
I know she doesn't. She doesn't want to be on camera, but I'm tempted to just give her a total. You're on camera live with Neve.
Oh, here comes Brian. Let's see if we can get him.
I don't think she hears us. Hey, Brian, what's happening? Let's say how it goes.
Yeah, well, I was just going to end this long conversation by saying that I was hooked on your show from the very beginning. And I tell you what, I look for it as much as I can. This has been a whirlwind of a week for me between car problems in the snow and my garage door breaking. I can't get at my $2,000 snow blower. And, oh gosh, it's been a nightmare of a week. So much activity, and it's still not over with. Now my brother blew up my starter because we went to the store to get goods to bunker down for 2 weeks because of the cold weather. And he was a little bit cold. He's from out west. He's a little bit cold. And my car was already warmed up, and he gave it a left-hand ignition start and left my starter engaged. And when I came out of the store, my car this just happened yesterday. The car was smelling like a smell I never smelled and making a noise like a noise I never heard. Man. And I find out later that I'm stuck at his house about 3/4 of a mile from my house, but still stuck there with a dead car. And he fried my starter by leaving my ignition engaged. So now
you haven't done any kind of Fargo activity on him, any kind of wood chipper action, anything like that?
Well, I am a tree guy, so but I
I
don't
was
have a
asking.
wood chipper. But I got axes. I mean, no, I'm just kidding. No, I love
Here's
the guy, but
Johnny.
yeah, well, come on. He is. I swear, if I ever called his home anything, it would be a cuckoo's nest. But anyway, I love your show. I do want to say one thing, though, that was really poignant about today's show, and that is Darren. I got to relate to him because a little over 2 years ago, I left being a union carpenter, and he and he left the football scene abruptly.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what his intentions were or what all played out, but that's the same way my career just abruptly ended. And
Right.
it's like you're so burned out on your profession that sometimes you just come to a complete halt. And
Sure.
in my case, it happened at a convenient time because I was ready to retire early anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, retirement is a good life, and but it can be a lazy life.
Sure it can, but that's all right.
Yeah, I got hundreds of projects I got to attack, and now I got the time to do it.
Well, great. Well, listen, Brian, we're about to roll out of here. I'm glad hope you've had fun hanging, and we're glad to have you on, and I appreciate all you do for us. And you know what? It's great to have you as always. That's why I reached out and checked you out this morning. I was wondering, I hadn't heard from you today or two, and I usually see you around town, so to speak. You're not banned, obviously, on Facebook or anything at this point.
Yes, I am. Yeah, for 5 more days. It's been a 30.
No shit.
It's 30 days. That's why you haven't heard any comments from me on your show. But I'll be around. But jail, just I can only reach so far out of those jail cells,
Right.
And,
all right, man. Well, I'm going to bring on Julie, and we got Toby here. We're going to roll out.
Julie.
All right, man.
All right.
I'll see you soon. Okay, bro. All right. Hey, Jules. How you doing today?
Doing well.
I don't know what happened to Mark. He seems to be missing.
I don't know. Maybe to get it, or I don't know. Well, I mean, he is in England. I don't know. I tried looking for him earlier, but
Right.
couldn't find him. So I don't know.
Toby?
But anyways,
I wanted so bad to drag Toby on the air, but she's been a good sport. She's telling us what's going on this weekend. Toby, we love you. You can see us. We're all waving at you. Anyhow, everybody, you've been watching Live with Neve. We're just 3 minutes away from the top of the hour. I have Julie Bruno, Mike, Rantman Imperato. In fact, if you guys have a home project that you need to have it broken down to perfection, Mike's the man for you. In fact, like I've said, I have an open invitation to him and Annie. Excuse me, not Annie. My bad. Angie. Yes, I have Annie. He has Angie. Annie, Mike, Angie. And I have Julie. And we have each other. We're just like the big, happy Disney family, aren't we? We're all well-rounded. At night, we sit around the fireplace. I-M-I-C-K-E-Y.
I know what I used to...
Fuck off, you and me. I was flashing gang signs. That wasn't exactly anything of value. I don't know. I don't know any gang signs. I'm liable to get killed doing that. Yo, what's up? I thought I was sign language in. Anyway, we're out of here. It's Friday. I hope you have a great weekend. We'll have some pop-up guests perhaps over the weekend, or we might be rerunning a couple of episodes of the show. But if you have a show idea, please check us out. And last but not least, PayPal me/livewithneve. This is Neil Public Radio. We work on donations, and we can swear. So come on back, and we'll see you soon. Where else can you get Mike Rantman or Julie or me? Nowhere. There's a reason probably, but you know what? You're here, so enter into our void. Come join us. Give us your money.
Hi, I'm Gabrielle Metz, and I'm on Live with Neve.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week, Live with Neve.